Tudor has a new watch, so as you could guess, the world's freaking out. Let's talk about it. What is up, watch fam? I am Christian from Theo and Harris, and today I'm at London Jewelers Manhasset Watch Salon, and we're going to be talking about Tudor. The watch on my wrist was, of course, chosen to be appropriate with the conversation. This is the Black Bay Dark, which looks a heck of a lot like Tudor's newest watch, which we'll talk about in a second. About a week ago on Instagram, Tudor began teasing an upcoming watch release. Now, this is a little abnormal, as Tudor has already released their novelties for the year, which were received really well. And in those novelties, Tudor really started experimenting with materials that we hadn't seen from the brand or expected to even come from the brand. We saw a sterling silver Black Bay, and we even saw an 18-karat yellow gold Black Bay, totally kind of out of left field, I think. But that did establish that Tudor was interested in really being, even going further, being different. So this latest release, which was just released, is the Tudor Black Bay Ceramic, which certainly qualifies as an alternative material. But what I think is interesting about this whole conversation, the conversation is rather twofold. One, the changes to the Black Bay in order to make it the ceramic edition didn't just end with the material. Tudor went much further than that. There's a lot of differences between this piece and the rest of the Black Bay line. We'll talk about that in a second. But the second, point of contention or conversation here is that Tudor back in 2016 released a Black Bay that looks rather similar to this ceramic, which was the Black Bay Dark, not to be mistaken with the Black Bay Black, which was just a Black Bay with a black bezel and a black dial. Right, this is the Black Bay Dark, PVD coated, offered on a NATO, leather strap, or bracelet, and it was at the time in 2016 the first Black Bay to feature Tudor's new in-house movement, which featured a 70-hour power reserve and, as you can see on the dial, a chronometer certification. This was actually big news at the time, and while it wasn't the first alternative material Black Bay that the brand offered, they did offer the Black Bay Bronze a year or about before, but that watch was 43 millimeters. So this piece being brought down to 41 became pretty popular pretty quickly. Tudor didn't invent the idea of PVD watches. This goes way back. Really, it even goes back to Cartier in the 1920s, but even in the 70s and 80s, Karl Lagerfeld had a blacked out watch, but really blacked out watches saw a bit of a renaissance in the mid-2000s. Brands were doing aftermarket treatment to watches. It was cool to look at, but a little bit taboo. Major brands weren't really doing it on their own, not most of them at least. So when Tudor released this watch, it was a big deal. There were a lot of people that wanted a PVD watch but didn't want an aftermarket piece, so this watch was the answer to their prayers. And I think it looks particularly mint on a distressed leather strap or on a NATO. This watch is so not me, I'm a dress watch guy, as everyone knows, but this was very cool in and of its own right. But now Tudor has basically one-upped it. Tudor has raised the stakes and introduced this Black Bay Ceramic. The first thing I want to point out here is the updated movement. This is an unbelievable caliber. This went beyond the chronometer certification, even chose to tighten the parameters and earn a METAS certification. To be rated a chronometer, a watch needs to keep time between -4 and +6 seconds a day, whereas a METAS certified watch is 0 and +5. And it can deliver that accuracy at 100% power reserve, down to 33% power reserve, incredibly magnetic resistance, I believe up to 15,000 gauss, and all of that under $5,000. That is a little bit insane. That's changing, I think, how brands are going to be pricing things in the future. That's how aggressive Tudor is being. I can't think of a better deal right now, but if you guys can think of a better deal, a better technical deal around $5,000, please comment down below. What other watches around that price point are delivering that level of technical quality, of accuracy, reliability? Comment down below. Next, it's a demonstration of Tudor's dedication to not just throwing a new color out there, but actually developing technology, actually investing in their catalog in a very technical and very real way. Tudor's making big moves. I never would have thought a gold Black Bay or a Metas movement. This never would have been in the cards for me, but I'm really glad to see the direction they're moving in. Further, one of the criticisms that Tudor has received in the past has been on their dials. People have complained that the dials have been text heavy. This watch is the answer to those criticisms. You only have 2 lines of text at the bottom, Black Bay and master chronometer. That's it. It's very, very clean. Tudor also chose to, faux patina, I think, is a strong word. I don't think that's necessarily accurate, but Tudor chose to color the loom in a kind of beige tan color. Again, I needed to look at many photos to even be sure I was seeing that, because it is so subtle, but I think it's smart. I think the white plots, like on the Black Bay Dark, which I like, can be a little abrupt. Now, of course, legibility is very important, and this was probably, a choice keeping function in mind. But that slight tan, that off-white color, to me is really beautiful. And of course, the ceramic case is considerably lighter than this steel case here. Overall, Tudor did a fantastic job with this release. I was glad to see that they didn't just throw everything out when they had most of their releases. I'm glad to see that they kept some surprises for later on in the year, even though that much time hasn't passed. But it gave us a minute to breathe. This watch did not get lost in the entire mix. And I'm really glad to see that. I know for sure, or I feel very strongly, that I'll be seeing a lot of these Black Bay ceramics in the market. I know people are going to buy them. I think the watch is that good. I think it's going to be a huge success, and I'm glad to see it. For right now, while I'm here, I'm going to stick with the Black Bay Dark. This is still a fantastic watch. I'm glad to see what Tudor has done now with their, dark or black or ceramic collection. But for right now, I'm feeling pretty content with the original. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in picking up a Tudor or building a relationship with a fantastic authorized dealer, shoot London Jewelers an email. The store manager's name is Anthony, fantastic guy. You've actually seen him on many of our videos. I'm sure that they'll be helping you out. I'm sure that it will be tough, like almost every Tudor at this point, to get, but if you do reach out, I'm sure that you will be helped. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.